Hey, welcome back everybody. Today's lesson is going to be about doing our sizzling starts from our story plan that we've been doing from last week. Before we start, let's go through a few things. Firstly, thank you to everyone who wished me happy birthday for the weekend. I really appreciate it. Had students from the past and from the present that I've taught saying happy birthday to me, and I appreciate every single one of the messages. It really means a lot. Secondly, this is the shirt for today, Hawaiian shirt. I think it goes quite well, even though it's raining. I'm feeling very festive, so let's get into today's lesson. Today's lesson, we're going to take the plan that we did last time. So if you haven't watched the planning lesson about the birthday disaster, go back and watch those two videos before we do this one. Now in the last video, we ended up trying to pick which ones from our plan we were going to choose for our sizzling start. And I don't know if you remember, but we chose a sound effect of the beep, beep, beep of his alarm going off that would signal that he's been late and he slept in. And also his mum screaming, "Get out of bed now, David." And we're going to use both of those to make a sizzling start. Now, once again, what is a sizzling start? A sizzling start is when we're going to try to, this is what I want you to check, engage the audience with a moment of change, a moment of high excitement to capture their attention. Okay, so we've got to make sure it's going to capture their attention and engage them and make them want to read the rest of the story. When you're starting with once upon a time or one day or things like that, they just seem like every other story. So you've got to try to get everyone's attention and get them hooked into your story first. We will go into the next lesson maybe about how to go back and do the backfill, which is the section after this. But today we're just going to focus on the sizzling starts. So let's take our beep, beep, beep and get out of bed now and see if we can make it a little bit better. Okay, so I'm going to start writing. So the first thing I'm going to do is a rule of 3. Now, when we're writing, the rule of 3 means if we're going to do sound effects, we should do it 3 times. So we're going to write not just beep once, we're going to write beep, beep, beep. So we're going to write it 3 times. So beep, beep, beep. And then I'm going to write down here, I'm going to skip a line because it's a different point. The sound of, I'm just going to make sure I don't trip over my microphone. The sound of David's alarm had been going off for 45 minutes. Okay, then I'm going to skip a line and have his mum come in now. Ready? So I might change it from there. It's going to be, I'm going to start with speech marks, and she's going to say in all caps because she's yelling at him. She's going to say, "David." I might not do get out of bed now. I might try and change it up. "David, seriously, you sleep like a log. Get out of bed right now." Finish my speech marks. I'm going to finish that. Right now, his mother screamed. Now that could be the end of your sizzling start, but we're going to go maybe one more paragraph just to sort of make it so we see what happens to David when he gets up. So I'm going to say that David's going to get up out of bed and realize that he's late before we go back and explain the rest of the story. So David, I'm just picturing him finally waking up. And that moment when you're sleeping and you realize you're late is a really big shock to you that you've just slept in through that. So we're going to try and show that through the sizzling start. So David shot up out of bed like a, jack in the, I don't even know if that's how you do with hyphens, whatever. David shot out of bed like a jack in the box as he looked at the time. That realization, and now that should get a good picture in your audience's head that he just jumps out of bed, looks at the time, he looks at the time, and then just jumps out of bed, like that realization. And then we're just gonna have him say one thing, and then that's gonna be our sizzling start. It's so he screams out, "What?" Sorry, the text is running out a bit. He's gonna say, "What? 9:30? I'm super late." Let's hope that's the only bad thing that happens today. And then the narrator is going to come in and say, oops, but it was only the beginning. Sorry, we'll just do it normal. Okay, I'm just going to quickly go back because I was reading a little bit stagnated because I was writing as I was going, and I'm going to read it to you and see if you can think if the audience would be engaged in the story. Beep, beep, beep. The sound of David's alarm had been going off for 45 minutes. David, seriously, you sleep like a log. Get out of bed right now, his mother screamed. David shot up out of bed like a jack in the box as he looked at the time. What? 9:30? I'm super late. Let's hope that's the only bad thing that happens today. But it was only the beginning. Now I've got everyone hooked, and now I've got to go back in the next section and backfill and explain what's happening, what day it is, and those sort of things. But this is my sizzling start. You can see then I have done not like 1 or 2 lines, but I'm not going to write the whole story. You've got to be careful in your sizzling start not to give away the plot and start going into your pebble and rock and boulder. We really don't want to go into too much of my story yet, because otherwise we're just giving everything away. So I hope that's helped. Next session we're going to go through and look at revising this to making the sizzling start better before we moved on, because during your sizzling start you should just be getting all of your ideas down, and then we can come back and edit and revise them as we go. I hope that's been helpful, because I think that I've followed the rules and now I've written an engaging one using my sizzling start ideas. Let's see what